growing up, I always knew there were some people who were different, you know. Some people who fought for themselves, who went out of their way to do what they wanted, who didn't care about the perception of others. I think this society guides you onto the straight and narrow path. Um, Whether you like it or not, I think this is something that happens, you know. I'm a creative, um, and for people like me, it's very hard to lead the straight and narrow path. It's very hard to make it work like that, you know. It's a very unpredictable job venture to strive to get into. It's a very interesting and tangible process. And I often envy the people on the straight and narrow path, you know. I envy that security, especially in moments when I'm feeling down. I envy that sense of, you know, everything is gonna be okay because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But you know, I'm studying a course in a creative subject at university, and I wake up every day and wonder if it's even worth it, you know, because there's no guarantee at the end of it that I'll be anywhere closer to what I want than I was when I started, and I'm paying all this money. But I think that, you know, doing what I do and potentially doing what you guys do as creatives is not something we necessarily chose to do. It's something that we have to do. It's something that gets us up in the morning, it helps us to sleep at night, it guides us through the day, it informs our decisions, you know, as humans. And I couldn't for a second think about stopping doing what I'm doing. I have my moments, you know, where I want to give up, I want to quit. I'm like, fuck this is not for me. But I know it is, you know, it always has been. It just gets tough. But a lot of people I grew up with, a lot of people I went to school with, you know, they're doing their own things, um, and they seem to be living life with a lot less stress than I do. Even though they're probably doing things that weren't their dreams as kids, you know, they weren't jobs that they thought, oh, when I grow up, I want to do that. But they're living, you know, they're doing all these things, all these fun activities. They're, you know, going on holidays. They're buying new cars. They're, you know, settling down essentially. And I feel like it's something that I'll never quite do sometimes. Um, I want to, but I know what my calling is, you know, I have to keep creating in my field. I have to keep working and keep going with what I do. And hopefully it pays off, you know, hopefully I get somewhere. You might wonder why I'm wearing a mask. If this is my first video, it's because I want my stuff to be separate from other stuff, you know, I want everything to be its own branch. And also I don't really want you to think about me when I'm talking, I want you to think about what I'm saying, you know. I think a lot of the stuff I've discussed already is quite simple, and it might not be completely mind altering, you know, it might not make you think, oh my gosh. But a lot of it is just thoughts in the moment. I don't want to follow the same procedures as everyone else doing these style of videos where, you know, they have their topic and it's like, if this video finds you at the right time, blah blah blah, and then, you know, and I watch those videos. I think they're cool. I think, you know, you gain some nice opinions and views on things and advice even. But for me, it's going to be kind of random. There's not going to be a set goal with this. It's more just like another expression form. But it's a lovely day outside. I've been sat inside all day working on new material. And nothing's quite worked yet. And that's fine. You know, I can go again tomorrow, but sometimes I wonder if like I was to go and experience a bit more, if I had the means to do so, maybe I'd have more inspiration to use for creating. But all I want to do is create, you know. My perfect day would be to make stuff and grind stuff and push stuff out, but it's a very unrealistic goal for that to happen every day, you know. And so when it doesn't happen on days, I get very down in the dirt and moody. But yeah, I might just keep this one short because it's the first one. But if this video did find you, then let me know what you think. Whether you're a creative or someone who finds himself on the straight and narrow path, you know, what do you think on the matter? Do you think that people as creatives are more likely to have unstable lives, if that makes sense? Or do you think that you can make it work? Because there is arguments like, you know, I used to have part-time jobs. I currently don't, but when I go home for summer, I'm going to get a job. And I'd use it to support my creative goals and my creative endeavours. But I was reading about what Brian Eno said. He said, whilst you can try not to get a job as a creative, use that time to learn, to create. But, you know, in terms of society, I'm reaching an age now where if I don't have a job, it looks a bit, you know, it looks a bit bummy. So, yeah, that's me out.